Put your hands together for Mr. Syed Monowarul Islam. He is here.
So you know my name. My name is Syed Monowarul Islam, and I am a senior software QA engineer at Flarie. All right. So I have like 10 years in the. I am in the industry for like 10 years, and I have been in the software testing industry for like 5 years. Right. So my responsibilities mainly include test case generation, mobile automation, and web automation. And currently at Flarie, I'm trying to oversee their QA process. I'm currently modifying it and making the process. Then we'll move on to automation and then hopefully go for recruitment on the whole team for the QA. And we are a startup right now. What we do is actually, if you have played a snake-like game, right? You have a snake, you have a background, and what you are going to do with our software is you'll get a dashboard. You'll get a dashboard where you will customize the snake with your branding, like maybe give him a sweater with your brand logo, or maybe design the field based on your logo, whatever. You have full control there. This is a short profile. You can hook, if you have questions, you can connect with me in LinkedIn. Then moving on. Yeah, okay. So first question was there if AI is fad or fact. So I guess you all know the answer. It's actually a fact, so not really a question. And then what can we use AI for in QA, right? And then we can go across SDLC and STLC, the differences between it, right? And then maybe look upon some AI tools that you can use, and then some challenges of testing, then maybe get some solutions to them. And even if you use those solutions, the risk for those solutions, and hopefully, I don't know if I can give you a demo because I needed to do it on a AI editor, but let's see what happens. So I will continue this with some quotes, right? So we all have heard that AI is gonna take our jobs, right? So Jensen Huang is saying that you're not going to lose your job to AI. You're going to lose your job to someone who is AI, who is using AI, right? So, and the translation for you students or junior devs is that the role of junior devs is going to disappear soon. You're going to need to know a lot more to get a junior developer role, right? That's what they are portraying. Then we have Microsoft CEO. He's saying that right now, currently, 20 to 30% code is AI generated, right? Similar quotes from them, and that is emphasizing that you need to learn the tools, right? But we are bombarded with so many tools, even keeping track of them is like a job itself. And you can actually make newspapers about them, and many bloggers are doing that and making a living. Okay, so the reasons being, I collected some reasons, is that we already had the research. And right now, in the last 10 years, you already know that NVIDIA's processors, the CUDA cores, have special functionality that make use of so many cores that you can now are in a position where you can actually get that compute power. So the developments that you are saying is not actually all hype. You are getting substantial things. And the last 2 points are what you need to consider, right? The demands are very high, so you are going to get more jobs, but you need to be more efficient. So demand is there, and every Fortune 500 company has a roadmap for it, all right? So then, okay, so my expertise or my field, whatever you say, so we have whenever we get a requirement, right? What do? We do brainstorming. So we get a meeting, then we have to do some brainstorming. So what used to happen, right? Whenever you were given a topic, what were you doing? You were doing a Google search, you were reading articles, and then summarizing those, right? So this would take you like 1 day or 2 days. And then you will come up with something and then again do a meeting. So what is this doing? At every stage, your timeline is increasing, right? So what you can do is for generative AI, you can, for the brainstorming part, what you need to consider it as a template. So you have something to think about. And you need to be in a position where you can judge that and improve upon that. So next up is test case generation. This is something is like AI editors like Tray, Cursor, and others. You have prompts there. You can actually tell them, hey, read my code base. And just, it's not in a stage where you can identify the components yet, but if you give it the components, it can generate the code. So you will see that it will generate 100 lines of codes for you from 2 lines of prompt from yourself. But what you will be doing is the review part, right? So other things, those are some points, but I won't get into them. Okay, so something I wanted to tell here is where you can do AI. We have a misconception that software testing is easy, but it isn't. I'll tell you why, and why many people think that testing is not important. Because we are in an environment where everyone talks about startups, and startups don't have their business models ready. So you're not in a position to invest in testing. You are identifying your business model. So, but testing requires, think of it like a front end, right? You have your front end, then on top of the front end, you'll have your testing automation and whatnot. So if your front end changes, all of your automation code is like garbage. So you need to be in a position where your design is stable. Or in the other case, very minimal changes are going to come to it. So what we say is testing is crucial for your cash flow. Where you have like millions of users, on that flow, the automation will run every 10 minutes. It will make sure that it is running, it is getting the responses. That's what you're needing, right? I was trying to explain that the testing is not so easy for that. Okay, so all of these stages is for that consideration. In big MNCs, you'll have this, but not in startups, because they have deadlines like, I gave you a feature today morning, hey, give it to me in the afternoon. No one cares about testing there. But for MNC, this is all going to take place. This is the separate timeline. Based on those timelines, this is. The relation between these are like this, like arrow. So planning takes hold, then this is the QA planning, then everything happens like this. Okay, moving on. Okay, so whenever we are talking about AI, right, we are talking about generative AI. Some tools that you have access to is this. Currently, I found that Grok gives you better result than the ChatGPT basic one, all right? So whatever the codes or whatever, you can use these two. This is from my experience. Your experience can differ. I just pointed out my choices, all right? And if you like to get a subscription, I'll suggest you this one, because this one charges you like $90, so you'll save a lot. Okay, all right, some challenges. So in automation, this is the primary evil, devil, whatever you say. You'll run a test case in automation. Everything's working fine for you. Then your friend runs it or your CE runs it, but it failed. It doesn't work. Why not? The reason I'll tell you first is something called data test ID and accessibility ID, all right? Whenever front end develops the code, they need to do this extra work. They need to give this ID in the component itself, otherwise the automation engine can't recognize the components. This is something they must take. I see many startups, they say we need automation, okay? But automation cannot be implemented in that manner. You need that, because otherwise they will be searching by text, which is not accurate. And for the accurate result and for it to get that component every time, you need the data test ID for web and accessibility ID for iOS and Android. So there's just one task whenever you're building a feature. Okay, so all of maintenance overhead, I already told you, like if your front end changes, then your test automation code is of no use. Then data management is another thing, same dependability. Then complex user flows is something, I put it here, but this is like a learning curve, right? Whenever you're working in a MNC, they have like a very long learning curve for their product. Just to learn their product, you'd need like 2-3 months. So that's why they're very skeptical of hiring you. You need to be very strong on your base because they are already investing 3 months of salary on you when they recruit you. And they can make the judgment call after 3 months whether you're a fit or not. That's why your base has to be very strong. They don't want to teach you anything, they just want to teach you their product. Solutions will come later. If you get into a junior position, that's something. Seniors get extra pressure. You'll figure that out when you join. Okay, all right. All right, so I mentioned to you Tray, right? Tray is a very good tool. If you have an iOS device, you can try it for free, and Cursor is currently also giving you those features to an extent, maybe like 50 prompts, and Tray also has like 50 prompts. So what do they do, right? They give you, let's say I want to click on a button, and then I want to see if the pop-up appears, right? The same prompt, if you ask it twice, you'll see it generated 2 different types of code. So what will happen is whenever you give it a full project, let's say you tell it to, the prompt is gonna generate like above 400 lines of code, then what will happen is those type of code will get generated. It will not make separate functions for them. So reading that is very hard. That's why I said like spaghetti or unmaintainable code. It might run the first time, but whenever you try to make changes to it, it's gonna take very long time. Then uncertainty is also part of it. Code integrity is also part of it because it's generating, it's not gonna know your team's code convention, it's not gonna know how you define the button names and whatnot. I'll tell you whenever you're doing those code generation on Tray or Cursor, whatever, it's gonna have some failure to comply. What do I mean by that? Is let's say you generated a code, right? And it's not working. Then you did some edits, then it worked. Okay? And then you did another prompt. It's gonna overwrite your correction sometimes. And that's very beautiful for you because you know you fixed it. And then you're going to scratch your head for so many hours, then you'll see that it took out your code. So what I do in this case is, if I'm doing an MVP, what I do is small snippet codes, generate them, and do a code push. It works. This gives me a stage where I can fall back to if I have failures. That's how I maintain it. You might have other techniques. Okay, so I wanted to do a demo, but I was informed I don't have that much time, so thank you. And if you have something, then let's see.